Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. It's that time for the daily news. Let's get this bag open, and then, actually, they posted weekend information really early. So prize wall highlights, new Kofi World Skill Plate. Don't know, they didn't say what it does. Straps, shards, and more. They didn't really list much other than a new skill plate this weekend. 918 King of New Day. Point structure 7.2 million in tours. Faction event 2.5 million. Backstage pass 100,000. Stamp cards 200,000. Web step up 100,000. Your CSS for the weekend boss. Again, we don't know if this is faction CSS like it sometimes is or individual. Any Anawai Maivia Legacy, any Trickster, any Legends, Smash, any Mexican Superstar, Dirty Dom, Dominic Mysterio, Coco Beware the Birdman, Haku, Tongan Terror, and the new Kofi Kingston New Days World. And then there is a metric butt ton of tour contest CSS. I am not reading all of that. But I would assume there's like probably like 5, 6, 7 tours with like 3 on each of them. I don't know. That's a lot of CSS. You got Hall of Fame in there. You got some Bloodline. You got whatever. There's a lot. You can read that if you want to know. That's like way too much. So yeah, word salad. What else? It's day 2 of the event that's going on. And as expected, they did drop showdown tasks. Deal 125 damage with any Bret Hart in the showdown, 125 with any Triple H in the showdown, 900 with SE, Chain Gang, Cena, 900 with CM Punk Best in the World. And there are some boosts that can potentially help, in particular CM Punk Best in the World. There's a 200% gem buff, so he hits pretty hard. So yeah, that's going on. It does look like it'll make getting closer the showdown if you have some CSS. My cat is walking right in front of my face. Hi Mo, how are you? Um, it does look like it'll make that easier. Now I can't see my screen. Hey buddy. Yeah, hi. Hi. You're a good boy, but I can't. I'm recording a video here. Sort of. All right. So yeah, that's the showdown, obviously. They added more tours today. They were not too bad. It's Best Heart, which is Bret Hart, right? Use whatever Bret Hart you have. Actually that's not true. That's for showdown. It's Striker Bret, Haku or Oldberg. So that's your CSS on that one, and then Best in the Business was that was a little more, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry. Um, you got Gable, Triple H, which resurrects Regum, Seth, or Gunther. So Gable is the more accessible one there. So that's the tours today. Of course, if you don't have the CSS, not that big a deal. You're missing out on a little bit of armory there, right? As far as the showdown goes itself, it's a bracketed showdown with a bracketed reward. Some solo contest points. You can see my league gets 276,000. Like, big whoop, who cares? It basically does nothing. And then as far as there's some solo points in the rewards, right? So you want to, obviously you want to get to 3K. It's actually only have to get to 2.4, which is kind of nice. That's a much easier milestone to hit than normal. And then rewards top league gets up to 900,000 points. Honestly, if you're not in the top league, these probably aren't even really worth it. And even if you're in the top league, I don't know how much it's worth, right? Depends how much CSS you have and if you want to get the third token, right? 900,000 points though is not, it's 30 it's the equivalent of 30 loopholes, but 900,000 points isn't getting you a long way. From 2.3 it gets you to like 3.2, right? Which is a little bit more, but also you're not getting anywhere near the 4-1 there. So basically you want to see, get all of your tasks done, get your stuff done, see where you're going to get, and then the showdown could potentially save you some money from spending, right? I not really thinking this is a one that's really set up well to spend for, but that's just me. Yeah, it's a really good free event. I like these free. I don't like spending for them. That's pretty standard. That's fine. Don't forget to, because then it's easy to not spend, right? Don't forget to do your stip tour, of course. And I think that's it for tours. And then all of these, though, do expire. So 24 hours on all of these tours to get them done. So make sure you bang those out. Faction Scouting Boss. Looks like it's only 100% for Blast Gems. So Crossbreak is probably also 100%. Yeet J, you know, probably will be really, really good. I would think. Um, Smash should be solid. Uh, Hall of Fame Ron should be good. You know, your usual suspects for Black Gems potentially will be quite strong. Yeah, okay, so let's look at the showdown itself. The buffs, I didn't look at those with you guys. It's worth noting when you have to go in here. There are some notable boosts. We're right up here. Here we go. So Mexico, and they get better depending on the level you're at. Just a 4 starting MP for Mexico. Offense, CM Punk has 200%. Attitude Era 25%, Ruthless Aggression 50%, on Multiply Gems, which aren't great. Basically, the only really big deal one is the 4 MP starting for the Mexican Link, and then CM Punk's 200%. The rest are just kind of there, right? So that's the ones you need to know about there. As far as offers, I haven't even looked really today. Oh yeah, it's Elite Loot Day. That's right. So there's a dual pack, so 2 for 1, Titan and the Elite. So you know, keep that in mind. If you want to do your 2 for 1, these were there yesterday. New Showboat Gable today. Like this pack, so that's new. Definitely like this one. 6 pulls, that's 180,000. This is like 480,000 points for $10. So not bad. And this is $20, which gets you 650,000 and 360,000. So that's like over 1,000,000 points. So yeah, basically first place is the equivalent of like $20 first place in this event, in your bracket. So like, it doesn't really make sense to buy energy, when you could just buy this and get pulls and not have to go through the hassle of showdown, right? Kind of sad when playing the event is less incentivizing than just not playing it and buying a $20 offer, you know. Whatever. I don't like the structure on this one. I don't like the payout. I feel like it's a step backwards, honestly. I don't know. Well, let me know what you guys think. I feel like that one's just a step backwards. It just doesn't make sense to me at all in general. Yeah, I don't like this contest design at all. As far as the loot, the elite loot, these are the normal weekly elite loot, so it's going to be all the monthly and then Howdy and OTC as well. Actually, it's not all the monthly. Apparently, it's just Woods and Smash. But Howdy and OTC. Of course, if you do the 24 pull, that's where you have the chance at hitting 1 guaranteed mega rare, which is not the featured, but it is Howdy and OTC, which is probably, you know, some shards. Then you have a chance on the super rare for hitting some woods, and then common here for Smash. It's, you guys know the drill on these, right? So do I think it's great? I don't. Howdy's awesome. It'd be great to get him, but let's be real. Statistically, it's not great. You're gonna hit it. You know what I mean? To be perfectly honest. So, I mean, it's fine if that's what you feel like doing, I guess. But again, I just find generally like this kind of deal with 10 of these. This is worth 300,000 solo points in the Titan tag, and then you get the 4 of these. I mean, I don't hate it. I just don't know that it's as much bang for your buck as you could potentially get. This is like 1.5 million. If you really want that 3rd medallion with the pulls, you know. So yeah, it's whatever. I think it's cool that we have the weekend information a lot earlier than we normally do, or lately have. That's of course always subject to change, right? But other than that, you know, it's whatever. The showdown just does feel funky to me. I am really curious what you guys think. Maybe I'm off base, but like in general, the rewards seem kind of crappy. Like if you're talking first place, a $20 pack gives you more points than you get for first place. I know they want to incentivize people to, like, to buy energy, but I don't see the incentive. Why do you even care? Maybe I'm missing it. Um, right? Maybe like I'm just completely missing it. Like, where's the incentive to try and get first place by buying energy when you just buy a pack where you get pulls and you're fine, you know? I don't know. Yeah, it's just weird. So I think I'm just gonna say it's a bad design in my opinion. Event, and to me it's a relatively easy no spend unless you're like a couple bucks away from your third prize wall coin in getting like this. Like I'd spend $20 for this plate just to have it. I mainly only like it though on Ray Phoenix, to be honest. There's other people you can use it on, but it's not necessarily impactful so far, in my opinion. But I do like it on Ray Phoenix, and if I get it, that's where I'd run him on. So I would probably toss a 20 at it, but no more. Um, Personally, like that's just me. And I do spend sometimes, but I don't. It just feels like a kind of a miss on the event for me. Like Punk Gear doesn't really do anything for me because it doesn't fix his gameplay loop. Um, yeah, I think it's one like a usual, and this is I think a good thing, is the midweek events are generally kind of just take what you can get. So there's very little pressure like to feel like you need to spend or FOMO or you're missing out. It's just stuff that, you know, get what you can get and keep your powder dry for the next event where you get more bang for your buck, in my opinion. Um, yeah, you know, boss. I don't know. I'm at a weird place with Boss, guys. Right? So, Boss, when it first came out, I feel like there was a lot of strategy. Breakers mattered. You didn't have to have max characters to play, so breakers really mattered. A lot of people didn't have the right classes necessarily max. And it's become a thing where I like that the A tier is good usually. I think that's a great thing. That's a plus. Um, but it's just kind of more of the same, right? You're just trying to brute force it, turn one it. I've heard lots of different suggestions for boss, but like to me it's ridiculous that it's a timed thing for faction rewards that aren't even good, right? Like I don't know why factions make such a big deal out of finishing top 2, top 5, top 10 in boss. Like the rewards are horrible. Like who cares? And then you have a lot of the top factions make their members give their logins to their accounts if they're not on. I would never give up my login. I'd also never be in a faction that required me to give up my login. Um, so I just think in general, there's a really bad setup for boss, and there's a lot better ways you could do that. Maybe I'll make a video on it in particular, but like boss is literally set up to just as little. I mean, it's slightly more thinking, but like you're literally just trying to brute force every boss on turn one, and it's all rinse and repeat, right? It's the same buffs with a slight rotation. And so generally the same people are good all the time, and it gets really honestly pretty boring for me. Um, because there's nothing really new, no new real concepts, you know. And the answer isn't just like cranking EXP or lowering buffs, right? I'm not saying and I'm not saying to make boss harder arbitrarily, right? Because boss can be a slog anyway when you have to deal with 100 people and a bunch of them put zero effort in and won't equip trainers, or you know what I mean? They clearly don't even try, you know? So the problem with boss is it's a punishment to everyone else on the team if you have lazy or people that don't care on your team, right? So that's problem one. Problem two is the whole time thing. Like, well, in what world does that make sense? Yeah, the people that log on the quickest. Come on, just turn it into who gets the most wins in boss. Like, the bonus points are just for clearing 23s. No bonus points for time or anything BS like that. That's just stupid. I'm sorry. So yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just feel like the event in general is probably the worst structural event we have. That's not to say it's the worst per time spent. That would be feud. Feud is definitely the worst rewards for amount of time required. But boss, I think, is the probably the worst laid out event currently. And it's not very cohesive and doesn't make sense to me. And just the whole like race thing for rewards that don't even matter. I mean, that's to me is on factions though, to be honest, right? Like if you're a faction and you're just requiring people to log on immediately for these rewards that are basically worthless, I mean, come on, bro. Like, is it? It's just like, why? Why do you even care about this, right? Anyway, that's my mini kind of rant. I probably maybe will do a video on stuff that should change to fix Boss, in my opinion, or make it better or more engaging. Now, Boss is fun when you do have to strategize and come up with a plan, right? It can be very fun when it's not super frustrating because, you know, people are, oh, me smash buttons, me face roll keyboard, grog make fire, and you just want to, you know, never group with them again. But Boss can also be very rewarding and very fun. I think there's kind of a line there, and it's probably difficult to find. So I don't necessarily blame Scopely as much for Boss as other modes, because a lot of it I think is person to person and faction based. A lot of the issues, including people in my faction. You guys know what I'm talking about. You got people in your faction guaranteed that you're like, man, how could this guy have been playing this game for 5 years and still not understand how to equip a strap, basically, right? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're probably that guy. Don't worry about it. Um, so yeah, in general though, I mean, like with Boss, just get rid of the time component, having people log in. That's just like instantly. That's just dumb. Just turn it into the faction that runs the most wins, gets that whatever worthless reward, and then let people decide. You know, it's just my 2 cents. Anyway, let me know what you think. This is too long. And remember to like, subscribe, and share because that really helps me out. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Good luck out there. I am very curious to hear you guys' thoughts on a bunch of different things on here, so let me know in the comments, please.